woman that just can't help but compete for a man's attention is a common stereotype, one that frustrates me immensely. At its worst, it paints women as inherently jealous and mean, unsuitable to have meaningful relationships with other women. It's tiring to watch, and like all stereotypes, it has the potential to influence how we see ourselves. So when I rewatched the original show not too long ago, I wasn't too happy with Meilin at first. She seemed to embody a bunch of stereotypes, and the competitive female was one of them. When she met Sakura and Tomoyo, she gets jealous almost instantly, and then she spends perhaps too much time trying to make Sakura compete with her or trying to undermine her success, and I could see why. Shaoran's introduction frames him as Sakura's rival. Both try to capture the claw cards, but at first, Shaoran is more skilled and experienced than her, and he's just as knowledgeable as Geto. We all knew that Sakura was going to win at the end, but for a while, he does represent a real threat, and even beats her at capturing some of the cards. However, as Shaoran's biggest supporter, Meilin sees Sakura as a threat, and to make things worse for her, she also sees Sakura as a potential romantic rival. It bothered me that for most of the time, Meilin's main purpose as a character is to just go after the boy. She even moves to Japan just to chase after him. And I wasn't crazy at all about the boy being a cousin she grew up with. At that stage, Shaoran was Meilin's first and only priority, and her feelings for the other girls were often shaped by that. But it's a little easier to forgive most of this when we consider that Meilin's still a young girl. Coming from a family full of magic, her lack of magical powers couldn't have been easier for her, especially with how much she likes to stand out. Wanting to be with Shaoran, who she thinks is someone amazing, could be considered as her way to feel special. There are some things that I noticed that I think are worth to mention. The competition for the boy, it's all just in Meilin's head. Sakura always treats her as well as she treats anyone else. Meilin never really hurts anyone either, and her antics are usually played as comedy. All of that doesn't mean much by itself, but thankfully, the show eventually allows Meilin to completely move away from her role as the female rival, in favor of a genuine friendship with Sakura and Tomoyo. When Meilin has to go back to Hong Kong, she fights with Shaoran about it, and Sakura invites her to her house in hopes to help her reconcile with him and make her feel better. It's really notable that the show decides to make the girls bond before Meilin goes away, instead of just keeping the one-sided rivalry or any sort of resentment just for the sake of a boy. And when Meilin gives Sakura a chance, she discovers that she actually likes her. Meilin does come back for an episode titled Sakura and the Precious Friend. The episode serves mostly to bring some closure to Meilin's feelings, and to reassure her that she's an important person, not only for Shaoran, but for Sakura and Tomoyo as well. And I especially like how the episode reaffirms her friendship with Sakura.
何ニコニコして。メイリンちゃんと会えて嬉しいから。え、そんなことで？そんなことじゃないよ。メイリンちゃんと会えたのすっごく嬉しいんだもん。もう。私も嬉しいわよ。また会えて。
Both girls are happy in each other's company, and after learning that Sakura has become the new master of the claw cards, we don't see Meilin get angry because she beat Shaoran. She's happy for her, and she even shows concern for Sakura's safety. When Meilin realizes that Shaoran likes Sakura, she's understandably heartbroken. Not only is her crush in love with someone else, he's in love with someone that she now considers a close friend. But she's not alone. It's important that Meilin decides that she's gonna cry all she wants now, so she won't ever cry for Shaoran again, and she won't let those feelings get between Sakura and her anymore, which shows not only how she has grown, but how much she values Sakura's friendship. But of course, not everything is perfect. Despite having her own episode to deal with her feelings before she moves on, it's kinda hard not to notice that once things start to get serious and Sakura and Shaoran start progressing towards their romance, instead of giving Meilin another motivation, she's just gliding off the show. Still, I'd be lying if I say that I wasn't touched by Meilin's letter, where she refers to Sakura as her very dear friend. It's a far cry from the beginning of the relationship, when Meilin saw Sakura as a rival, a threat, someone that just wanted to stand between Shaoran and her. Regardless of its flaws, I appreciate Cardcaptor Sakura moving Meilin away from the frustrating stereotype of competitive women, and making her form a healthy friendship with the one she once considered an enemy. It was nice to see Meilin in Clear Car again, because it assured us that even years after she moved back to Hong Kong, she remains good friends with Sakura. Here's hoping Clear Car finds another purpose for Meilin, one that shows us how much she has grown since the last time we saw her.